gonna have to take a picture.
Yeah. What's up, everyone? How you guys doing? Welcome to the Titans Edge, evolving with John and Jimmy. How you doing, Jimmy?
What's up, big dog?
Good to see you, bro.
How are you, man?
Good, man. Good. Good as always. You?
I'm good.
Yeah.
Happy anniversary.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate it.
18 years?
Yeah. Yes, sir. It's definitely a feat for us. 18 years, going strong. I was like, I can't believe it's 18. Yeah, we have a 6-year-old kid, 16 and a half, I guess, now at this point.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man. It's
Did it go fast?
Yeah, it's honestly it's went pretty quick. I mean, everything's went pretty fast. I mean, think about it. Back then, like I remember meeting her and stuff like that, and just to where we are now, it's crazy all the things that have happened in between.
Right.
The good, the bad, the ugly, it's all there. But it makes you stronger, I think, as a couple. Obviously, not just being a couple as far as marriage, but the business relationship too as well.
Well, so 18 years.
Yeah.
And then Titan is 15.
Times 13. Yeah.
13.
Going 14 this year.
So you guys built this baby together.
Oh yeah, we built the business
Yeah.
together. We had our son at home at that point in time. We started the business, which was pretty tough, and that's it. I mean, it was just a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication, back against the wall, and not having an option to fail or lose.
Yeah, and the category that was just new.
Yeah,
right. And very edgy,
very
right?
very
edgy,
yes,
very
controversial.
What was the biggest obstacle that you like the first year? What was the obstacle? Was it the convincing? Was it what was it?
I would say the convincing to a certain extent. The people not educated truly about hormones, having scares or just being intimidated by some of these different things, not knowing what these things were, obviously, like glutathione back then, or like any of the different things that we were offering. It was basic stuff. And at that point, I think the biggest thing was like getting over that. And we didn't have any advertising budgets or anything like that, so it's just literally building brick by brick as far as that goes for what we're doing. But I think that was the biggest thing, and like getting into it was the convincing of or even like telling our family, like, listen, we're gonna do this, and like them being against what we're going to do. And then having other doctors that we wanted to bring in the practice telling us we were crazy or this wasn't going to work, and it's just nuts. So I mean, you get I guess the biggest obstacle is getting over all the no's or all the turn downs, and then
But you're Greek.
yeah, of course. I'm like, I'll just take more and just keep
Right,
coming back,
right.
right? And that's just how you got to be. So, yeah, I think that was the biggest thing. Like, just staying focused, not letting anybody take us away from what we were doing or divert us, because of any doubts. I think the easiest thing was is because we were partners. I mean, at that point, like, my wife would like, she's there for me, I'm there for her. So, I mean, that's a big one, right? You're not doing it by yourself or solo. I think if you're doing it by yourself or solo, it's a little bit harder. I mean, you got nobody to go against. You just got to trust yourself and just rock.
Of course. You guys divide and conquer.
For sure.
So you said about convincing. So basically product education, right?
Yeah.
So move fast forward to today. Is the product education harder now than it was back then? Let me give you what I see.
Mm-hmm.
There are still people out there that have no clue.
Of course. Yes. That's
so answer that for me
sure
from your side.
Sure. So I would say, before, back when we started, maybe 1, maybe 2 out of 10 knew about testosterone or injectable vitamins, these IV bags and stuff like that. Fast forward to now, 13 and a half years later, we're talking about maybe 8 out of 10 know about these things and maybe 20% don't know.
Okay.
But so, majority of people now are educated on hormones. I mean, especially this year with those black labels coming off of testosterone and estrogen, and just all these influencers talking about some of these different things. I think that's obviously brought a big light, to the preventative and optimization of the body. But at that point, like, there's still a lot of misinformation out there. There's still a lot of these people.
Well, there's always going to be that.
I think that's more prevalent than ever, though.
Yeah.
Especially on the peptide thing with, a lot of these different influencers. They own their own research chemical site. They're just spitting things off. Their base is just taking what they say as, blind faith.
Right.
And they're going right to it and just taking it. So,
it's a lot easier now because TB5.
There's more education out there. Obviously, there's more people out there that are doing it. Maybe not doing it the right way, but they are doing it. And at that point, that's it. Like, for us, I don't really see competition because of how long we've been around. I don't know any other clinic that's big like that, that's been around as long as we've been. So I would like to see when their incorporation date was. And then doing it the right way, like, like being around this long and doing it the right way. There's a lot of places that come and go, but they just can't withstand. It's either internal combustion or there's outside, people coming because they're not doing the right things. I mean, we've seen this. I've seen this every year in my career in this business.
We're seeing companies come and go right now.
Right. And every year it's like that.
Yeah.
Every year, like
3-4 pop up, 3-4 go down.
And I've had the personal threats from some of them. We're going to take you out. It's going to be no more. You guys are going to be gone. And we're still here, still standing. One of the strongest and still strong as hell today.
Listen, if you're doing the right thing, and you have customer service, and you build the community and stuff.
Absolutely. Like that. It's about culture, the lifestyle. Like,
right.
That's what it's all about.
Right. I'm a Titan guy.
Yes.
I'm a Titan guy.
That's right.
I want to ask you about years ago, right? So years ago, taking testosterone for a man, and even women, even any kind of hormone replacement, which that was a no, right?
Yeah.
Doctors were like, no. Guys, maybe, right?
Yeah.
It was more of a taboo back then.
Absolutely.
Right? So now, I think more people are more open to even though they don't know a lot, right? They still need the product education. They're open to the conversation because someone around them is doing it.
Yeah.
And it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like these GLPs,
yeah.
The Retas and the hormone replacements.
Yeah.
And I mean, every guy I know over 40, 45 is on test.
For sure. I mean,
every guy.
That's the thing. Like more and more people are on it, and it's been more normalized. Even before, like you would see people and they would be worried about it, or they wouldn't want to tell anybody they were on it, right? Like that was just a no. Like, I'm not telling anybody. Like, this is just to myself. I know patients in the beginning that they wouldn't even tell their wife or girlfriend, and they would hide it from them. So, I've had a couple of wives and girlfriends call up, and obviously I can't say anything, get a HIPAA, and they're even a patient, but I've had them call up, like, hey, we found this, we don't want our husband or boyfriend taking this because of the misinformation they got about, cardiovascular risk, or, them flipping out and roid rage, whatever it is, it's like all these things have been debunked, right? And by the FDA and by clinical research and studies. So, we know all this stuff that they were stuffing down our throats was just, propaganda, pretty much. It was to scare us. It was.
Do you think they actually knew? Or they didn't have enough information?
Oh, no, they knew.
They knew, right?
They knew. They definitely knew. Because even when you looked at the sample size of men back then, like 70s and all that, the testosterone levels were a hell of a lot higher.
I don't know if you saw the graph that just came out.
Yeah, I definitely saw it.
I just saw it yesterday.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, the average guy was 600.
Yeah.
And now they're like 300.
Yeah. It's nuts. So
yeah.
Think about that. So we know what our ancestors per se or generations back what their levels were, and that was normal natural levels. That wasn't super physiological levels. So when we look at them now, and they took the sample size from this generation, and they're all fat, obese, their levels were low. They've lowered that. Like let's say on LabCorp, the reference range. So before when it was 1150, now it's 946. So why would we lower that down? Like that's something they knew.
Even with the cholesterol.
We listen. We know this. If you are low on testosterone, you might even be high on estrogen. You're going to get beta. That means you're going to be more submissive to what's going on. Authority one. I mean, that's the number one thing I would think of, that you get all these people falling in line or falling the wrong path because I think they're hormonally imbalanced, and it's a chemical imbalance, and they're not thinking straight.
But that's where it all starts.
Right.
So now the women
Yep.
Get their fair share.
Yep. For sure. I mean, females need testosterone hormone replacement just as much as men.
Have you seen an increase in that since now?
Of course.
The government or whoever you want to say came out with the saying, "Hey, it's okay."
Absolutely. I mean, you had all these girls and guys thinking they were going to get cancer. They were getting a heart attack, DVT, blood clot, stroke. They were going to just rage out on people. I mean, just negative thoughts around this. Ovarian cancer, cysts for females. Like, you're going to transform into a male. Like, no. If you're on the right dose, you're going to be great. It's just what your body's producing, just on the optimal end. That's why I tell people.
That's why it's called hormone replacement therapy.
Right. We're not pumping people up, and jacking people up. Like, that's not what we want to do. No viralization for females. Like, we want you to basically this. You're a 40-year-old. We want to turn the inside clock back to 20.
Right.
Because in your 20s, that was probably your highest level of optimization that your bodies went through. The testosterone was probably healthy. For females, their estrogen was probably healthy. Like all these different things were in balance, or excuse me, balanced, and they were feeling their best. Like most people should feel their best in their 20s. These kids now that don't feel their best in their 20s, their levels are all messed up. And it's nothing that they did. Like that's the biggest thing. Like people are like, well, what did I do? Or how did this happen? Like,
Do you think it's from the food?
I think it's a multitude of different things. I think it's the food sources, things they're putting in our food. I think it's the environment, obviously, all the different things out there that we're breathing in for sure. And then it's daily things that we utilize. Deodorant, toothpaste, anything you're applying lotion wise, even sunscreen had carcinogenics in it, they found.
You see what's going on.
So I mean, dude,
Cologne.
I don't know about cologne. I'd have to look into it. Might have endocrine disrupting chemicals, but even the clothes we wear, the dry fit,
Yeah.
So
all the companies,
So you're saying about all this candy? You mean the Sour Patches are gone?
Sour Patches,
After workouts?
Skittles.
After workouts, I can't use them.
Yeah, no
You
more
sure?
Sour Patch Kids for you. No, we don't want you having high levels of arsenic in your system.
Yeah.
You know, like when we talk about arsenic, you know, it's like that's pretty serious. Like you
Yeah,
say,
it is.
would you take
Yeah.
a spoonful of arsenic straight? Hell no.
No.
Then why would you start taking arsenic in different ways?
Yeah.
Just it's like basically like somebody's poisoning you and you can't taste the poison.
Right.
You're like, oh, this is straight. And then obviously like something happens, you're like, oh, how did this happen? Well, you've been feeding yourself poison. If you knowingly do this, you're an idiot.
Right.
You knowingly do it, you're an idiot. You should knowingly do it. If you knowingly do it and you accept that, that's one thing. But if you knowingly do it and you're like, oh, well, what happened? You're an idiot.
Yeah.
You're
Especially if you do it for the first time but you find out
right.
and then you do it again. It's like going to jail for the same.
That's what I'm saying. It's a definition of insanity.
Yeah.
You're doing the exact same thing over and over and over and expecting a different result. It's gonna be the same result. You're gonna be in trouble.
Yep.
Like, it just is what it is. I mean, listen, if you know this, like, you know, when I was growing up, I ate a ton of McDonald's, Burger King. You know, my parents.
That was my treat.
Dude, I used to eat the shit out of it, and that was my main meals.
Yeah.
Right. So like my education about nutrition, and everything growing up was not that good. Because my parents never knew about nutrition.
Yeah.
Of course, I ate steak dinners, I ate good Greek food and stuff like that. But they were entrepreneurs. They were working all the time. It was me. My brother was 9 years older than me. Of course, he's watching me. He's not cooking.
Right.
He's taking the money that they gave him to take me to McDonald's or Burger
Right.
King or wherever the hell I want to go and eat. So majority of my life, I would say up to like 18 was like that. Now, right when I hit about 18, it was like I started learning because I started talking to other guys. Because back then we didn't have the internet. It wasn't like I could go online, go to a bodybuilding group, ask them the questions that you know now. Google, ChatGPT, like all these resources to find information. I'd have to go up, and I wouldn't even be able to go up to the biggest guy in my gym that maybe was most knowledgeable because it'd be in my gym.
Right.
You know, I'm in Chicago or Northwest Indiana, right? Like I didn't have people like you or Michael Horn or somebody of that caliber to teach me the ways of the path.
But John, the burger at McDonald's was a lot different back then.
A lot
than it was
different.
today.
It was. It
Okay.
was. It was.
So
It was.
everything just changed.
I agree.
Everything just changed.
I agree.
You know, so
It's true. It really is true.
I do believe that's why people have gained more weight.
Yeah. I believe
And
so.
that's why these GLPs are just kicking ass.
For sure. For sure.
You know?
And you know, when you talk about these GLPs, they're amazing. When they first hit the street, when the GLP-1 was sema, it was just like, wow, this is good, but it has like some side effects, like
Right.
nausea and stuff like that. You know, and it just kills the appetite. So, you know, people were eating, losing maybe some muscle mass, and then tirzepatide came. Even better. Still had a little bit of the side effects, but would really kill your appetite too as well. And then Retta comes along. And Retta is a 3-component GLP, and that just helps you. It doesn't kill the appetite all completely, but it kills it a little bit, so it cuts off the hunger factor, and at that point helps keep the muscle on too. So, you know, there's a lot of different things that people can use out there, but if you really want weight loss, those are going to be your best bet.
So let's stick on this for a little while because I'm sure whoever listened to us 2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
because we missed a week.
Yeah.
I was going to go on the Retta, right?
Yeah.
And I actually officially started. I'm 3 days on it.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm going to do a little different. I'm going to take the way it's
Yeah.
prescribed,
yeah,
but I'm going to do it a little different. I'm going to use it as get ripped
right.
instead of just losing weight,
Oh, absolutely.
right? So I'm going to use it instead of my old ways.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
To get ripped.
Yeah.
I would add a T3
right.
and clenbuterol.
Right.
Right. But we're on this side of the fence now.
Right.
Right. So
We got better tools, right? It's like before, like you'd have the guy that was maybe like like I don't know, cutting down trees or
Right.
whatever, having to use an axe.
yeah. And
Now we have machines, right?
So, yeah, but don't forget, John, I knew this worked for me.
Yes.
Right.
No,
The
no,
T3 with the clen.
totally understand.
I know how it works. Right.
Totally understand.
So now I'm entering a phase. I'm entering in a room
Yeah.
that I don't know.
Yeah.
So I kind of understand how other people are feeling.
For sure.
Right. But I know me and I know how disciplined I am.
Sure.
So I'm taking this phase into a get ripped phase,
Yeah.
maintain as much muscle
Yeah.
as I can.
Yeah.
Okay. Still train, still eat my carbs.
Right.
I'm eating right now about 1.5 grams per body weight.
Okay.
Okay. And I can't tell yet, right? Because it's 3 days now, 4 days. But I will let you know how I'm doing.
Sure.
And I'm sure everybody. I got hit through IG and stuff
Yep.
like that through the previous one.
Yep.
But I want to tell you about how it's like a domino effect.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I told a few people
Mm-hmm.
in my personal life
Yep.
that I'm taking it.
Yeah.
Okay. And they didn't even ask me questions like I wanted to. Right? Because they know me.
Yeah.
It's like if Jimmy's going to take it, then he's researched it. It's going to work. Right. So it's kind of mind boggling to me that it's the influencer, good and bad.
Good and bad.
Right.
Right.
Good and bad.
Right.
That can take someone down a great path.
Yeah.
But also a bad path.
Yeah. I agree.
Right.
I agree.
So that's where
that could be a good wife, bad wife, good coach,
everything.
Bad coach, right?
It's influencer.
Everything. It's an influence on you.
We all get influenced.
Absolutely.
You influence me, I influence you.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So but it's astonishing because I see like I want it.
Right.
Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? I didn't understand, right?
Yeah.
Well, if you're taking, I would take it.
That's how you gotta lead through, right?
So
gotta adapt to the newer tools that you have, and like I said, we know that the axe worked,
right.
but you might feel uncomfortable learning how to use the machine that's gonna chop down the tree.
Well, the thing is, the axe is gonna take more time for me to chop the tree down,
right?
And I don't know if I can handle that much work,
right?
Mentally, right? Because you got to be disciplined.
Of course.
I know personally I will be, but there's some other people say, you know what? I lost 10 pounds. I'm happy. I'm good.
Yeah.
Screw it. I'm not doing no more.
Yep.
But with this Retta stuff, and I've seen women drop 30 pounds. Yeah. I've actually spoke to a few guys that I know.
Yeah.
Guys.
Yeah.
Pros.
Oh yeah. Trust me.
Pros.
Oh, trust me. I know.
Getting ready for the Olympia now.
Absolutely.
And
Nick Walker's one of them. He expressly puts it out there about Retta.
Yep. And that's one of the guys I was mentioning. Absolutely loves it.
Yeah. It's an awesome compound, man. I mean, the clinical data speaks for itself, guys. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Are the dosage different for everybody, or do you start them at some?
So if you've taken a GLP, we might start you at a different level because you've already had a GLP. If you haven't had a GLP, we always start at the lower level.
Got it.
So, and then we'll titrate up, right? That's like
BC 157, TB 500.
You need to titrate up. Some people don't. Like if we're still moving the scale, then we don't need to titrate up. We don't want to like kill the appetite completely if we if we don't want to.
Yeah.
Right. But like if we want to titrate up, like great. Like if it's not moving, we need to titrate up for sure. And some people don't get that. I'm like, listen, like you need a higher dose. And we've seen that now, and pharmaceutical companies have seen that.
Right.
Because they're maxed out their original commercial doses with patients, and now they're coming up with double those doses.
Really?
So, I mean, people are going to be on extreme amounts of some of these different things if they're taking those doses. I ain't going to lie. But tearing up to the different medications could help you out in lowering the dose of what you really need.
So, talking about this microdosing.
Sure. So, microdosing is something that, has recently come about like the last couple months. And it's probably the last 6 months, maybe to a year, but it's a big thing, right? It's for A couple of different reasons. One, somebody lost a lot of weight. They've hit their goal weight. They don't want to lose a much more weight. They want to stay where they're at.
Does anybody have a goal weight?
Yeah.
So if you lost,
I would look at goal look, not a weight,
right?
or correlate the both.
But when it's, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but like, you know, when someone says, "I just want to lose 10 pounds,"
Yeah.
they lose the 10 pounds.
Yeah,
like
lose more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like money.
Yeah,
I want to make $1 million. You make $1 million, like, yeah, that's not enough.
Think about it though. It's just like us looking in the mirror, like, all right, I want to get bigger.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
it's just not, So people always will see the flaws in themselves, or always want better, or
Right.
hopefully they'll always want better, and they want to just keep refining that. Some people are like, listen, I've hit my goal weight. I'm 100 and let's say it's Sharice, like I'm 115 pounds. I don't want to lose any more weight, right? I don't want to keep my butt. I don't want to lose any more weight. So she'll microdose now. But like that's what people do. Is like they might lose whatever their goal weight was, whether it's 60 pounds, 80 pounds. They want to microdose it, keep where they're at, and they'll microdose it. If it's somebody that's an athlete per se, bodybuilder, or somebody that wants to really just shred up their physique, they'll microdose. They'll microdose because they can still eat, and the body's getting optimized now the way it's working. So at that point, hey, listen, if they can get a benefit from that, and they can shred up more and get rid of body fat and still gain muscle, hey, that's a win.
And with the Reddit, you can.
That's right. So I mean, for people that want to do that, that's a killer thing, and the vial will last you forever because you're taking half the dose. You're taking a minute dose, and it will last a lot longer for you to do it like that, and you'll still get the results you wanted. And people will be on this forever until the newer, better one comes about, and they're coming down the pipeline.
So, do you think
even Retta will be a dinosaur visions commercial?
Really?
Yes.
So what do you project? Retta will be around for another year until something else comes around?
Yeah.
So what is there room for?
So there's room for things that you'll be able to take that will put muscle on you automatically and lose weight.
Yeah, don't give me that at 60, man. Where were you at 30?
I'm serious. Like, it's gonna be crazy where people can do that, and then it's gonna be like, I mean, with the GLPs, what they've seen is they've seen cardiovascular improvement, kidney and liver function improvement, right?
Is it because of the low body fat?
I think it's because they've lost the weight, one, but I think it's because the body is optimizing the way it's working too. Like it's processing better, right? So like it'd be like an older computer that has a slower like hard drive or RAM, and you have the new updated one.
Right.
It's processing a lot faster, a lot more smoother than before. And I think then that's really where it's at. And at that point, like if people are going to get healthier by taking it, and that's a win too. I mean, think about that just in healthcare status. If they were more preventative about healthcare, they would save money on the back end, the person and the insurance companies. So,
So do you come off it?
Some people do and some people don't.
Do you have to come off it?
No.
That's where the microdose.
This could be forever for people.
That's where the microdose.
Yes. It's made for people to be on forever. It was originally designed for type 2 diabetics. And type 2 diabetics, they weren't talking about reversing diabetics. But I believe that you can reverse type 2 diabetes with this.
Yes, I was just going to say that.
Insulin resistance, it's sensitivity.
That's all it is.
Like, dude, at that point, like, if it's working and doing that, as long as you're changing your lifestyle, you're rewiring. It essentially is rewiring the body.
Yeah.
And if you can rewire the body, then, bam, you're golden. If you can stay like that, hey, man, I'm all for you getting off the medication.
Yeah,
you want to be on it, that's great.
I agree.
But if people, they can utilize it and they can, let's say, live longer, because, when we talk about that, we should really talk about longevity too. People are like, well, how can I live longer taking a GLP? Well, here's the science behind why you're going to live longer. Because one, you're slowing down cellular deterioration that could be caused in the body by sugar in the bloodstream, excessive sugars. When you have excessive sugars, cellular deterioration happens in the body. Cellular deterioration deteriorates the body. It starts inflammation. That's another one.
Inflammation is huge, man.
And they were doing the studies originally on metformin because metformin was the first thing that most type 2 diabetics or pre-diabetics would be put on, and that's a great one. And that's been studied for over, I think, like 70 years now.
Yeah.
And at that point, they were starting to say, oh wow, like the old people that were taking the medication they were putting on were living longer than the people that were getting the placebo. So, right. And like, why are these people living longer? Well, we know why, because cellular deterioration was slowed down. So it's an anti-aging drug too. So there's so many benefits to the GLPs for people that really need them or want to utilize as a tool that it's ridiculous. when they first came about. I still don't like it to the fact where it's a love-hate relationship. I love them because they work so good, and for a lot of people that really need them, that maybe have tried every fad diet, grew up obese, still obese, low self-confidence. This sucks. So if we can change somebody's life like that, that's ridiculous.
So if someone's eating one meal a day already, and they get on the Retta,
I don't think you should be eating one meal a day,
but I'm just saying they are.
So
Right?
listen,
They call you up and they say, hey, listen, I'm 100 pounds overweight.
Yeah.
Okay. I need help.
no problem. You can eat the one meal a day if you're 100 pounds and you need to lose 100 pounds,
Right.
and take the red out. It's
Now,
got to optimize the body.
You would still encourage them to eat little meals.
Absolutely. I would say, listen,
Yeah.
I don't care what you eat, just prioritize some protein.
That's it. Get some protein calories.
That's it.
Yeah.
Drink a shake.
Yeah.
Right? Because you probably have a shakedown fast. You consume a shake pretty
What's
quick.
the difference in it?
Get it down. Right? Get it down because I don't care. I mean, even if you were to eat like some garbage food, if you were to eat like
Calories.
yeah,
Basically calories.
That's it. Like if you were to eat a McDonald's hamburger, triple cheeseburger, and that's what I would eat. I don't eat McDonald's, but if I did eat McDonald's, it would be a triple cheeseburger. Actually, if you go on the app, I've had one in the last 6 months because
It's 50 grams.
my son,
isn't it?
right? But you can add more patties on.
Yeah. Oh, really?
So I get a 4-stacker if I get something like that from there. You can get all the way to 9. They call it T-Rex burger.
No shit.
Yes. You go on the app and just add the patties. And think of the protein. If they use protein, I mean, it's not the best.
Right.
Source,
Right. It's better than nothing. Right.
If you can get some of that in, then at least you're gonna have some fats in there. You have some carbs, some protein, and you're gonna have something to generate some fuel there. And at that point, I think that's great. Like I don't care. And then when you're on the GLPs, like I've seen people, and I wouldn't recommend this, eating garbage and still lose weight. Not work out, still lose weight.
Do they still feel good?
They still feel good.
They still feel good, huh?
And I'm like, dude, but I go, think about if you did have a lifestyle.
Yes.
You would feel way better.
I would think.
You're gonna get way better results.
Yeah. I would think, right? If you're starting to lose weight, then your confidence, your life,
everything improves.
Your life ain't shit no more, right?
Everything improves.
So your whole attitude changes. Then you're like, you know what? I'm going to eat a little different. I'm going to dress a little different, right? And everything changes.
Yes, and that's my take on it. Like if you're totally to the left side, you don't got to go totally to the right side.
No.
You slowly progress.
But that's what everybody tries.
Yeah.
They try. They wake up. They're like, okay, I'm going to take the GLP, whatever it is, and then I'm going to eat my chicken and rice, and I'm going to have vegetables, and I'm going to salad, and I'm going to go train. And they do that for 3 days, and they just hit a wall.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's people who are going to do that, but I'll tell you what, you're going to start seeing results, and usually results will drive those people to want to do more, hopefully. But I've seen people that get results, and that doesn't drive them to want to do more. They're just like, oh, now I'll just use this. Like now I have my
crutch.
Now I have my crutch.
See, I can't do that.
Yeah, but that's our mindset.
Yeah, I could do that. If I start seeing results with the Red, I'm like, John, okay. Now what
can we do?
Yeah, right? Now what?
Of course. The normal person's not like that. Normal person doesn't think like we do. They don't prioritize the workouts and nutrition like we do. They don't prioritize what they really need to be doing. They're just living life their way. And that's fine. That's how they want to live. That's how we want to live. But when they get it, it's not like us. Performance enhancement to us, it's like, all right, nice. Like I'm getting results. Like, oh, how can I push this forward and get even better results? And then it's like, oh, cool, I'm good. I reached my goal weight.
Right.
Well, you're never gonna hear me and you say we reached our goal weight. Okay.
Never.
And we had a great weight that we wanted to. All right. We had a goal in mind. Yeah. I want to be 220. But that doesn't mean like I'm putting everything on 220. I want to look stacked and jacked at 220 and be healthy with that.
Now I'm stacked and jacked at 220. What else can I do now?
Right. Can I improve my sleep? Can I improve my performance in any way, shape, or form? My mental clarity, cognition, like those things. I would say like, hey, listen, like there's always something better to do, and that's how we are. Like we literally like, all right, with your first 2 goals, hit those first 2 goals. Now what are we doing?
Right. I really think a lot of people are like us, but they're scared to make that move. I don't think they believe in themselves. I don't think they're able to obtain that first step, to make that first step. And they're like, I'm okay with this.
It's so hard. I mean, because
how many people, I've seen people, but I'm saying you've seen them a lot more. How many people have come in here that have just totally changed their lives?
A lot. There's a lot.
And in the beginning, you're like, I don't know if it's going to work.
There's a lot,
right?
Yeah, I never know who's gonna really commit.
You can't judge a book by its cover coming in here.
I never do.
I never do either.
Never.
Because I've seen
That's
people.
life.
I've seen people come to me through in 40 years that I've never judged a book by a cover, and I'm spot on.
Yeah.
Like I always saw the attitude, right? Oh yeah, I just want to do this. I'm yeah, just just tell me how many sets, tell me how many reps, and tell me what to eat. Right. And then it's like, hey, Jim, I lost 10 pounds. I feel great. Then the husband will call me or the wife will call me. Next thing you know, their sex life is better.
Absolutely.
Their marriage is better.
Absolutely.
Everything's better.
Questions on the block.
Things are going to improve for sure.
So that's what I'm saying. It's like I can't believe that there's a majority of the world that is okay. I think they just settle.
They settle, or they're. I mean, think about this, Jimmy. Right? Like gyms bank on people not showing up.
Yeah, like Planet.
Right? All of them do. They want to sign
the 10, 15
they
months,
know.
they know.
50% of that people are not going to come.
Right.
And why is that? That's a multitude of different reasons. But here's the main reason. People make excuses and then they justify those excuses with themselves. Whether I don't have enough time in the day, right? I mean, that's the number one excuse for people out there. I ain't got enough time in the day. I got kids. I got to work. I'm dead tired.
You'll watch a full movie at night.
Right. I mean, I'm not even saying go to the gym. I'm saying when you're at home and you're watching the TV show, the commercial, get down and do some sit-ups, get down and do some push-ups, do some jumping jacks, running in place, anything of activity-wise. And hopefully that will push you because you're starting to see results. But I see a lot of people out there, they could care less.
I just think they just settle because they don't believe they can.
Yeah.
They really, really do.
The older they get to it, the worse.
And if you give them that information, you encourage them, and you give them that light at the end of that tunnel, I really think a majority of the world would actually. Everybody's like, "Oh, it's too expensive. It's too expensive to eat healthy."
I laugh at people.
Go get 2 boxes of cereal.
Yeah,
that's $20.
Yeah,
$25.
That's what I'm saying, dude. I mean,
you get a pack of chicken.
Yeah. It's not hard. It's not hard and not expensive to eat clean. It's being smart and what you're doing and how to eat, I guess, right? Like, if you want to go fillets and all that, it's gonna be expensive. Of course, right? You're gonna eat organic, it's probably gonna be a little bit more expensive fruit wise, but pesticide wise and all that, you're saving yourself the back end. You're gonna pay for it now or pay for it later. So whether you pay for it now or pay for it later, it's one way or the other. So I think that people really.
Oh, we got a lot of questions.
Yeah, they need the education to be able to eat cleaner, but there's so many resources now on how to eat clean. There's even apps.
Just ChatGPT it,
dude. You can ChatGPT it, right? But even if they ate to even keep track of their calories, there's literally I don't know how many apps out there. Literally snap the picture. If it could be a Wendy's hamburger, and you don't gotta say it's a Wendy's hamburger, it'll snap it. It'll tell you the macro breakdown right there. You'll know exactly what you're intaking. You know the calories. You got all this information. You don't gotta memorize it because it's all in the app. And go back to it and look at all those different things. And you can start looking at where the nutrition's at, what you're really getting in.
Do you think people are eating too much or not enough and not moving?
I think people are eating too much. I think that. Some people think that if they don't eat anything, they're just going to lose a bunch of weight. That doesn't happen all the time. This is a good old stuff like that. Hormones and all these different things. They're hitting a brick wall.
I believe, and from what I've seen, let's say 2,000 calories. Okay, I think most people are reaching the 2,000 calories with picking shit food.
Gotcha. I agree.
And then when I switch them over to 2,000 calories of good food.
Yeah, they can barely get it in.
They're like, I can't eat this food now.
Yeah, it's hard to eat clean and get the calories.
Right.
It's easy to put down empty calories too, right? Like a pop. That's empty calories, bro. Like you ain't getting nothing out of that. Nothing. You might get some carbs, sugar out of it, but maybe some caffeine, depending on what it is. But you ain't getting anything out of it. It's empty calories, So pick and choose your calories too, because that's essentially your fuel.
You gotta make that decision. It's that decision that you're making when you go in the refrigerator or you go to Publix and you grocery shop. I'm not saying eat like You're like, I was used to get ready for a
You
show.
don't. Yeah, you don't got to eat.
I mean, enjoy your food. I mean, I went. Funny. Check this out. So I'm in love with the Publix tater tots.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just found them. Okay. Like, what a mistake, right? So, and Tammy's like, they're on BOGO. So I went. We went, and she got BOGO, and now I do my whole egg white thing, my whole carton of egg whites, and I throw 5 tater tots in there.
Okay. That's great.
And I'm good.
Yeah, dude, that's cool.
Because at one point I was like, oh, egg whites again.
Yeah.
Egg whites again.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I used to put, potatoes in there.
Yeah.
You have baked potatoes, you chop
Sure.
them in there and stuff
Sure.
like that. But you know what? I put the tater tots up the air fryer, throw them in the egg whites, I
Yeah.
mush them up a little.
Yeah.
It's like delicious.
That's awesome.
But it's not like you don't have to eat so strict.
Yeah. The only reason I eat bland is because that's what I like to eat.
Yeah.
Like, that's not like, oh, I have to eat like this. That's just the way that I like things, right? And that's the way Sharice likes things. So that's pretty easy for me, and that's why it's a little bit easier, I think. But some people, they have a really developed palate, and they
I can eat bland.
You know,
Yeah,
I love bland.
Yeah, I can eat bland.
For me, bland is everything.
Yeah, I might put a little ketchup.
Yeah.
Little ketchup or whatever. And now I'm discovering these sauces.
Yeah.
That I can put.
They got the 0 calories.
Yeah.
And all
Yeah. I
that.
never did that.
Yeah.
I never did that.
Yeah. You know, first rule for me, I think people losing weight, get away from the condiments.
Yeah. They add a lot of calories.
They do.
A
They
lot.
do. And if they're not like
that dressing that you get at the thing, right there is 300 calories.
That's what I'm saying.
And you're dipping it in for the whole. I just have a salad, and then you take 2 of these little things.
And then you have a sandwich with mayo, and I love mayo. You're adding calories.
The other time, I told you about the roast beef sandwich.
Yes.
Sitting right there staring at me.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not doing it.
I know. It's
not doing
crazy because, I mean, listen, you eat some of these sandwiches from some of these places, you're getting 1,000 calories right there.
Yeah.
Right? And like someone will have 2, or like you eat 3 or 4 times a day, you're eating 3,000 or 4,000 calories. If you're not burning them off, metabolism's not good, you're going to store those calories and you store the fat. And like that's,
I mean, burger, Five Guys.
Yeah.
A double cheeseburger is 1,100 calories.
Wow.
Calories, something like that. Yeah.
Wow.
And that's no fries.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying.
That's no
and the fries now, you're talking about 1,500, 2,000.
So by the time you eat it, it's like you ate air.
Dude,
it's 1,100 calories.
Hey, we go to the movies. I go to the movies every week. Sharice, that's our date night. That's what we do. Been doing it since the beginning of the relationship. But like, I'll look at the calorie counts of like popcorn. They have like the kit, and you're talking about like 2,000 calories, dude. And those people that eat all of that, drink all the soda. So you've got 2,000 calories that has done you no good whatsoever. You've already hit your limit for the day. And now what are you going to do? You're probably eating 2 or 3 times a day at that point.
It's funny you're saying that because we go to this every week. We go to the movies too. But Tammy found this movie theater that you bring your own bowl.
Oh, okay.
And you get as much popcorn. So I had my oatmeal and cream of rice bowl.
Nice.
It's like this big.
Okay.
And as a joke, I said, why don't you bring it to the movie theater? She goes, I am. But that day that we go to the movies, she cuts the rest of her calories.
Oh,
like she'll eat,
of course,
right? But that's her thing.
She prepares.
Yes.
Yeah.
She'll eat her popcorn and she'll get a Coke Zero,
right.
And that's her treat.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Like people should be able to have a treat.
Absolutely.
It's just
absolutely.
Like, at the beginning of things, if you're not well off, like you got to sacrifice a little bit more.
Yeah.
But like, don't drive yourself crazy insane. I would say give yourself a treat, but not a day of eating, but a treat, right? And just know where your calorie count is. If you know the calorie count's going to be a little bit higher because you're eating popcorn and all that, then you got to start backing off some of the prices.
And a lot of people don't know the caloric intake, right?
No,
so I'm just going to say real fast, if you guys want to take something, just jot it down.
Yeah.
Take your weight and times it by 10, sometimes times it by 12, and there's your caloric intake.
Yep.
I use 12 for maintenance, and I use 10 for weight loss, and I use 14 for weight gain. And actually, most of the time, it actually works. But somewhere to start.
That's good. All right, what do we got here? What emerging technology do you think will most impact the future of surgical robotics? AI. That's plain and simple. AI will control the surgical robots. It will tell it what to do. It will assign protocols. It will assess the patients. It will assess the damage or the areas. Guys, we're going to be lost in translation with AI here very shortly.
Time. Justin, we were just going to bring that up for the libido.
Are relationships or bedroom enhancing therapy safe and medically supervised? Absolutely. So everything's medically supervised you're going to do here, and bedroom enhancing therapies are definitely safe for both men and women.
Yeah.
What follow-up and monitoring systems are in place after therapy starts? Blood testing and then monitoring. So us checking up on you, calling you, or you having direct access to us, calling or texting us, telling us what's going on. If you need to make treatment, different treatment plans, or we need to get some blood work to look at maybe some things that we might think that are off. Because listen, we've
BC 157, TB 500.
We need to make sure those levels are okay. So Rick said, "You guys are awesome. Thank you.
Thank
We
you, Rick.
appreciate it." Lauren, thanks, Jimmy.
Appreciate it.
Nice.
Thank you, Lauren.
Andrew with the rockets off. Thank you. And then, how much do type medical centers treatments generally cost, like HRT? So HRT, we generally say for a male, it's going to be between 200 and 375 all in, and that just depends on what's prescribed, doses, and all that. For females, it's usually 100 to 200 bucks. And it just depends what's prescribed, right? Because it could be testosterone, estrogen, progesterone. It could be one, So it really depends on the person. But I like to give, like the gauge of 1 to 200, gauging of 1 to 2 hours. How does the type medical center ensure treatment is? We know the medication. We know the dose is going to be right. Our protocols we've been doing for over 13 years. So I mean, clinical data research. I've got 13 years of it. All our patients. Whether it's peptides, weight loss, hormones, any of that good stuff. We have all the data because we have all the patient research here.
13 years worth.
We've serviced them. So I mean, I was in my first year.
Yeah.
We were still because we were coming out with really cutting edge protocols before anybody was. Blends of testosterone, shooting 2 times a week, splitting the dose. It was unheard of. When I went to the A4M and I started asking the doctors, no, we like to stick to 1 time a week or 1 time every 2 weeks. And I'm like, no. So, but now, I'm super overly confident about what we're doing.
Yeah. Jennifer's like, drinking coffee or caffeinated beverages help enhance fat burning when undergoing medical weight loss therapy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, don't forget, Jen, it gives you energy.
Yeah.
Right. There's no
go up, please.
It helps you move energy. It doesn't burn fat.
Yes.
But it gives you the energy to move.
Yes. Yeah, plus, there's research on like caffeine and stuff like that, helping.
Here's
the number, even strength.
Well, here's one thing that I'm actually taking is the ECA stack.
ECA stack, dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
Game changer for me.
Yes.
Right.
Me too,
because
sure.
I take it in the morning.
Yep.
On my days off, and then on the days that I train, I take it an hour before. Like, I've tried it without it because I'm like, come on,
it's a difference. It's a difference for sure.
Big difference.
Anyway, that's I'm like, listen.
Yeah. To me, the ECA stack, and going back to Jennifer's question, the ECA stack is a fat burner.
Oh, for sure.
Okay, it's not just drinking coffee and enhancing your energy to burn more calories. Okay, the ECA stack is a fat burning product.
You got ephedrine, caffeine, aspirin, B12 and chromium, rulifedrine. Ephedrine and caffeine working together. There's studies on that too as well. So this is really, really good. It's way better than anything out there and healthier than anything out there, especially energy drinks or anything like that you guys are consuming for sure. All right, what else we got? Next one. Can sugar consumption interfere with the effectiveness of hormone therapy like testosterone, estrogen? Sugar is not going to usually affect testosterone and estrogen directly, but it is going to affect a lot of other different things in the body. So you don't want your sugar level your sugar consumption should not be high, right? You can take in so much sugar. And I think it was like 26. Well, let me look it up exactly.
So let me pop in here.
How much sugar can you?
So when you're taking sugars during the therapy, you're also want to stimulate growth hormone release, right? Yeah. So the higher sugar levels you have, the less growth hormone release you'll have.
Yeah.
So no, it doesn't directly interfere with the testosterone therapies, but it definitely interferes indirectly with your results.
Absolutely. And this could work with a number of different ways against you, but like I said here, 25 grams for males and 36 grams for females per day. That's the daily dose that's recommended by the American Heart Association. Okay. And at that point, if we're going to look at something like that, now The regular dose for most people, they said, adults should limit added sugar to less than 10% of their total daily calories, right?
Yeah.
So, which is about 50 grams
Yeah.
on a 2,000 calorie diet. Like I said, for the American Heart Association, it goes down to 25 grams for males and 36 grams for females. And if you measure that out, you'll look at it, and then I want you to look at the back of what you're drinking. If you look at the back of one of your Gatorades, you've already hit your daily dose.
Yeah.
You went over it in some cases. Pops, you've already probably hit your daily dose. One soft drink, one pop. So if you're taking any other sugar that day, in anything that you're eating, you're overdoing sugar. It's crazy.
Yeah. So I was telling you about the egg whites with the tater tots, right? So I put ketchup.
Yeah.
I eat I don't like the sugar-free ketchup.
Okay.
I'll eat the regular ketchup, right?
Do you eat it with? This is the big question, because I like ketchup too, but do you eat it with the high fructose corn syrup or the cane sugar? Because they have one with cane sugar.
Really?
I get it. I get the regular one.
Okay, so you get regular
Okay.
Heinz.
Yeah, it doesn't affect me. But one time, when I was dieting, I actually wanted to see how much sugar I was getting in from the ketchup because I was eating egg whites
Were
three.
you tapping your finger, getting glucose?
So I was eating the egg whites 3 times a day.
Yeah.
And then 1 steak and 1 turkey.
Okay.
Okay. So every time that I had the egg whites, 2 hours later, I was over 130
Wow.
glucose.
Really?
Yeah. So when I cut the ketchup, okay, I was under 90.
Okay. Good.
Huge
Difference, right?
Huge difference.
Right.
That's how much sugar.
Yeah.
That's how much insulin spike I
Yeah.
had from that ketchup.
Yeah.
You know, and that's where you don't know that insulin spike is going to ruin your results.
Yes, it is.
You know?
It's true. So I mean, this is something to really look at. The one with the cane sugar is pretty good. It tastes.
Does it taste?
Oh, it tastes phenomenal.
Okay.
Phenomenal. And most of the healthy places that you go.
I got to tell you, I don't know. Maybe Tammy kind of slid that in.
So yeah, so look
You
at
know?
the back of it, and now because high fructose corn syrup has such a bad name,
Right.
it will say genetically modified
Modified.
ingredient.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
what it is.
I,
Corn syrup or high fructose.
I'm gonna when I go home today, I'm gonna look at the ketchup because I think Tammy slid that whole
Good.
Natural.
If you got the natural one, it's
Yeah.
good, and it tastes really good. Like I couldn't taste the difference. Heinz actually makes it.
I would do Heinz.
So it's
Yeah.
really good. Like I'm a Heinz guy. Like even like Heinz 57 when I was younger. Like I used to love that A1.
Yeah.
I won't do it no more. High fructose corn syrup.
Yeah.
So I've watched that and I've watched it in so many different things, and that was a big difference before back in the day. They didn't have high fructose corn syrup. That was it's supposed to be a better than sugar additive, which is actually a hell of a lot worse for you. And the reason that they use this is because they have an abundance of corn, and they don't know what to do with it, so they use it as a byproduct. And as we know, corn really has no nutritional factor; it's for roughage in the body. So at that point, it is what it is.
What else we got?
How might frequent that? Oh yeah, no, this is good. How might frequent caffeine consumption affect cortisol levels,
Mhm.
and what does that mean for stress or hormone imbalance therapies? So it can increase it. Any stimulant can increase cortisol.
Well, let's not forget. As soon as we wake up because our cortisol levels are high.
Right.
Morning coffee.
Right. Spikes them.
They're going sky high.
Yeah. So, cortisol is something that, usually will get back in balance if you have really high stressful days.
Yeah.
You might have some of that affects it. And this could definitely be affected by stress. And it could cause you to feel even worse. Obviously, the balance of that hormone is, because cortisol is a hormone, if that's high, you're going to start putting on body weight.
Yeah.
You're not going to feel good. You're going to start putting on body weight. So
We got the ashwagandha gummies,
Ashwagandha,
right?
yeah.
And we sold out right off the bat. And we were getting the feedback that some of the women were taking throughout the day.
Yeah.
And they just felt amazing.
Yeah. I mean, listen, ashwagandha, I told you, for me, but if you have high cortisol levels, absolutely.
Yeah.
If you do, I would blood test to see, because some people, I'm super stressed all the time. I have high cortisol levels. And you test them.
That's the excuse.
Come on. So just look at that and make sure, and then you use it as a tool. I think ashwagandha has a place. I just don't think that everybody should take it. But
No. Yeah.
I think
It's like everyone wants a good sleep. They want to take melatonin.
right, and that's
Melatonin is not for everybody.
no.
It can actually work against you.
Absolutely. So, And it's pretty cool because I mean, I guess we're here, we're talking about that. So as you get older, your circadian rhythm is disrupted. Sleep, is off. The different things happen because sleep is off. So how do you get the circadian rhythm back into rhythm? Epitolon. Epitolon is another peptide. You take it 2 times a year for maintenance, and it will get the circadian rhythm back into place. What does that do for you? Deeper sleep, more relaxed. At that point, recovery is better, revitalization is better. You feel refreshed waking up. Super cool. It's a longevity thing. It lengthens telomeres. I think we were talking
Really?
about it. Yes. Yeah.
So is that an IV or is it a shot?
It's a shot you take it for 20 days.
Really?
Yeah. Super cool. Like I've been talking about this for years. So, if you guys don't know what telomeres are, these things in your body, and as you age, these things shorten.
Yeah, short.
As they shorten and get shorter, that's when degenerative diseases from your genetics will come on. So, like, you had something hiding in your DNA, that's probably when it's going to pop off. So, it's just something to look at.
Exposes everything.
It does.
To get bigger, smaller, and tighter.
Yep. Always love Tight Medical Center. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Thanks, Todd.
That's true. Never judge a book by its cover. You're right, Jimmy.
We got some love from Australia.
Yeah. Love Australia.
Yeah.
Got some Greeks down in Australia too. Down under.
The community is
for real.
Huge.
Huge. Can sugar-rich diets affect the long-term success of peptide therapies aimed at improving metabolism? Yeah, it will definitely mess some things up, like as far as insulin and stuff like that. But like I said, there should be sugar-rich diets. Like sugar is something that can be added in. Sugar has a place, like anything else, but it's not to be abused. And when it gets abused, it's going to cause damage, right? So you could probably off balance it with a GLP, but you're not going to intake as much sugar, but it's going to be able to process the sugar better, I guess.
I don't think zero sugar is good.
I don't think zero sugar is good either.
Okay, that's why we have a pancreas.
Absolutely.
Right. So,
and you're going to get sugar in some items.
We need insulin.
Yeah, no, for sure. Most anabolic hormone, we talked about that. I mean, the zero sugar all day is not
good. No, it's not good.
I don't like sugar replacements. I'd rather have something that has cane sugar in it or sugar in it than have sucralose or any of these false ones. I told Peter this the other day. I'm like, but it has 0 calories and 0 sugar.
Take the calories.
Take the calories and take the sugar.
Yep, absolutely.
Right? Especially at a younger age.
Your body will metabolize it better.
Absolutely. So, everybody out there, the zero sugar and all that, like, I know Mike loves them. Other people love them, like the Diet Cokes and the Coke Zeros and all that. Just for me, I still think I'm like, you might as well just drink the real thing.
I go for the real thing.
You might as well drink the real thing.
Tammy goes for the.
They do, and it's because they look at it and they see it as a healthier choice, and it's supposed to be. Yeah. But I'm just up in the air still about it.
Yeah, we just launched some of the products. We got the hydration drink, and I went all natural. Like I can't sugar in it.
I love that. Listen, sugar's got a place, and at that point, like you can have some sugar. So it's not like you can't have sugar.
I agree.
It's just like I'm not drinking 10 pops a day. I'm not eating candy all day. I mean, there's people out there that do this.
Yeah, listen.
There's people out there that gorge themselves.
Anything you abuse, you're gonna get sick.
Of course,
there's a side effect for anything. You eat too much chocolate, you're gonna feel it.
But I only eat one bag. I only drink one soda.
That's all you need. That's all you need.
I looked at the calorie count of because Peter had some friends over this last weekend and they ordered was it Papa John's or Domino's, whatever it was, and they come with the
2 liter.
Yeah, the 2 liters. God, I haven't said a 2 liter in so long. And the 2 liters, and man, you look at the calorie count, sugar count. Oh, holy shnikes! This thing is loaded. And I remember people just drinking those things in the dome, full thing down. Like, wow. It's just things have just changed my mind and my vision when I see these things.
Can lack of sleep reduce the effectiveness of TRT and HRT treatments? Absolutely.
Absolutely. Sleep is a vital component of living.
Yeah. Quality sleep.
Yes, quality sleep.
Quality sleep.
Yeah, because even if you're taking the drugs that put you to sleep, like Ambien and stuff like that, they have studies that say you don't really get good REM sleep from that. And REM sleep is really what you want. And I track my sleep, so I can tell you what my sleep is every single day.
Okay, so let's go over that real fast. So someone's not sleeping good. What's the first thing do you recommend for them to do?
The first thing that I recommend is that they cut off all electronics. Right. At least 2 hours. At least 2 hours before bedtime. Yeah. If you can't do that, maybe an hour. An hour at minimum.
I was my whole life up to 3 years ago. 4 years ago.
TVs.
I couldn't. I'm still with TVs. I'm fine now. I couldn't fall asleep because the minute that I put my head on the pillow, my brain just went buzz, business, this, that, right?
Of course.
So now I don't know what happened. I'm able to fall asleep,
That's great.
but it was so hard, and I used to wake up exhausted.
Oh wait, so is this on the MK? If I help with sleep, for sure. Hopefully that's help one because that will help with sleep.
Right.
That's a big one. Yeah, man, sleep is vital.
So I was taking the MK in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I'm doing the Retta,
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking the MK at night.
Okay.
And I'm actually sleeping deeper now.
Even better.
Right. But here's the thing. I'm going to sleep around 11:30.
Mm-hmm.
I'm waking up 6:30, 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
I'm like, this ain't good.
Yeah.
Because I wake up 8:30,
Yeah.
and I start my day.
Sure.
I woke up today. I woke up 6 o'clock. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
It's still dark out.
Yeah. I hate that.
But I slept.
No, for sure. If you wake up and you feel refreshed, you're good to go.
Yeah.
Even if it's 6-7 hours.
But to me, waking up dark,
yeah,
I'm going back military days.
Dude,
I can't do that.
I hate that.
I need sun or day for me to put my pants on.
So like this week alone, let's see, this week alone, my REM sleep has been 1 hour and 23 minutes. My deep sleep is 37 minutes. The quality of my sleep is 77, which is that's a C grade, high C. But I've hit 97% of my sleep goal, which my sleep goal was to improve my REM sleep and everything like that. I want to get my REM sleep up to at least 2 hours.
Do you dream?
Very rarely.
I dream.
Very rarely, bro. Very rarely.
Yeah, I dream, and sometimes I don't like some of the dreams.
No, I don't like. You know what? I mean, honestly, like I said, dreaming wise, it's rare occasions.
Really?
And even if I can remember some of them. Some were good, some were bad.
Yeah. I dream all the time.
When I wake up from those bad ones, I'm like, thank God it was a great dream.
Sometimes they still affect me.
Yeah. Well,
you wake up, you're like, oh,
for sure, for sure. I know Charisse, like, she used to dream a lot, or like she'll get premonitions, like before, like she'll go with her gut totally. She'll go with it. She's like 100% knows. Like, maybe you get these images in your dream for a reason.
Yeah,
so
right. Can hormone imbalances affect brain fog and concentration?
Yeah, absolutely. Hormones are going to drive everything. Testosterone,
Yeah.
there's receptors in the brain. Yeah, it can definitely mess with your concentration. How does alcohol consumption affect hormone therapy results?
Sugar.
Yeah, well, sugar's one. Talk about how the liver and kidneys, have to start working there. At that point, they're going to start getting the toxin out of the body as fast as possible.
Everything starts within the liver.
Yep. She filters the body.
Everything starts within the liver, and the liver is the most functional organ there is because it filters our body, and everything that we eat goes through there.
Absolutely.
Right? If our liver is inflamed,
think of it like a garbage disposal. And I hate to say it, but garbage disposal, right? You put something through it, you dispose with it, it goes right through. If you bunch it up with a whole bunch of garbage, it's not going to go through. Now you're trying to filter through other things or dispose of other things, and it's not going to happen. Same thing with the liver. Yeah. Fatty liver disease is one of the biggest things that's out there. Practitioners tell people just to change their diet. They went on glutathione, 2-3 weeks, boom, their liver functions will be in range.
I know guys who get ready for shows and their liver enzymes are up, and
well, yeah, I mean,
they hit that glutathione, and
I mean, you can definitely, the liver. I mean, obviously, the body itself is one of the most amazing machines ever built. It can withstand, it can repair. But we talk about the liver, man. Like the regeneration of the liver is crazy.
I believe glutathione, the injectable glutathione.
Yeah,
right. Everybody should be taking it.
Absolutely. Oxidative stress. Yeah. I mean, antioxidants like liver. Like, I mean, if your liver's in great shape, it's processing optimal. Yeah. Everything's going through just processing fats and everything. You'll lose more weight. Sugars, you lose more weight if your liver is intact and running optimal.
Well, most of the people who can't lose weight is because their liver is not functioning properly.
That's right. We got fatty liver disease. Yeah. So
and
gut,
right?
Absolutely.
And gut.
Can metabolic issues contribute?
What was that?
Graphic.
contribute to anxiety and
or
low
low
motivation.
motivation. Yeah, of course. Yeah, for sure. You feel like, oh, I can't lose
When
weight.
you're off,
Yeah.
nobody wants to diet. Nobody wants to eat healthy.
No.
We all go, including myself.
Yep.
We all reach out for that comfort food
For sure.
when we're off,
For sure.
right? When your shit's good, right? You're good.
Absolutely.
But that's where the discipline comes in,
Yep.
right? When
Yep.
you're not good,
Yep.
you have to stay on that track
Yep.
to become good.
Or kick your ass back on track.
Right.
You pick yourself
And
up.
if you do it once or twice,
Yeah.
then you know.
Yeah, for sure.
You're like, hey, okay, I'm not good today. I'm just gonna keep going.
Yep.
And I'll kick right back in.
You're not going to have a great day every day. It just doesn't happen. I wish. But
You
it
have
just doesn't happen.
listen, out of the week, you have 2 good days.
Yeah. Yeah. It does. You get kicked in the teeth, man. And at that point, you got to get back up. So, all right, guys. So I think we're going to slow down. Yeah.
What time is it?
We're
Oh,
getting
wow.
down. It was a great show. Things went really fast because me and Jimmy were talking about great things. And obviously, just normal conversation. It's
I really appreciate you guys coming on here live, and
for sure.
You know, you motivate us too as well, right? Yeah. You know, we all
to motivate each other.
Yeah, we all huddle up.
It's all energy.
You know, every Wednesday at 1:00 we huddle up, and
that's right.
You know, and
talk about some good things. You know, people learn some good things.
Yeah. And if you guys have any suggestions or anything, you know, just leave a comment underneath the video, and we'll address it
for sure. Next weekend, Carson Court Tour, February 7th, Motor Enclave, 6 to 10. Titan Medical Center's presenting that. Runway show, dinner. It's going to be a crazy, crazy event. 15th year. This is nuts. And yeah, that's really about it. Keep it locked to socials. This week, we have Titan Transformation as a Therapy of the Week special. And that thing, I mean, it's a huge discount. Huge discount. So you guys take advantage of it. If you guys want any more information on that, call or text 727-389-3220. And man, it's been a great show as always, man. For sure.
My pleasure, my friend.
So we'll see you guys next week with the Titans Edge evolving with John and Jimmy. We appreciate you guys.
Peace.
And we will see you next week.
Much love.
See you guys later. Bye.